5 minutes.
Your awareness may be powerful enough to control your instincts. Your instinct will be to remove your hand from the box.
It's your girl Meesh, and welcome to another episode of the LUV MEESH Podcast. And welcome to part 2 of Honor, Self-Honor. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome, love. I hope you enjoy the podcast. I hope something within the podcast resonates with you. Of course, take what does and release what doesn't. And I hope you continue to tune in to more episodes. If you are tuning back in, hey, love, welcome back. This is part 2 of the Self-Honor mini series, and it's gonna be the last one because so many selves have been coming to me. I'm like, Lord, this is not turn into a self podcast, so I'm gonna turn it into a journal book. I don't think I'm really an author. I think I'm a journaler, so I think a lot of my books are gonna be journals. But so many different selves have come to me. You can just go click on the Pinterest link and see how many selves are in there. It's ridiculous. So I'm just gonna put them in there, and that way we can do, like, maybe I'll call it self work. Or I love myself, spelled CELF. We'll see how I put that together. But I'm excited to put that out. I just be having so much creative energy, and I don't think I ever knew what to do with it. And now that I'm able to channel it and put it out in the world, even if it just helps one person, it just makes me so happy. So we're gonna move. We're gonna go into today's episode, in which we're going to be talking about death, rebirth, and transformation. How I kind of feel sad about saying goodbye to the old me. Or I remember telling my friend, the old me has died. I was just kind of disappointed, regretful, remorseful. I mean, there's so many emotions that I could pull out about some of the things that have happened, or how I've behaved, or just the older me. And I was trying to explain that, I didn't want that part of me to ever live again. And they were explaining, that part of you never dies. It's always with you. And I'm like, yeah. But again, I felt like I couldn't really explain myself. What I was trying to say is I'm growing and evolving into another version of me, and I can't continue to be that way. So when I think of death, I think of, just reflecting on the past, forgiving myself, loving myself, thanking myself for the things that I've learned, because it's because of the things that you go through that make you who you are. So, I mean, so many different ways to kind of look at that. And then rebirth is just learning the new things, bringing the new things into practice, because you're going to continue to be tested, pop quiz on them, and just breathing in them and stepping into them more and more. Just kind of like when you first learn how to drive. The more you do it, the better you are. Same with spirituality. You learn these new practices, affirmation, self-love, self-care, yoga, spiritual baths. And just the more you do them, the more they become a part of you. The more intention you put into them, the more you see that they start to help and just become a part of you. And then transformation is actually taking all that you've learned, the past, and, the newer version of you, and just walking into the future with it. And just embracing all the new changes that will continue to come your way. I actually had put it into equation form. It was interesting. Let me go back and see, because I'm going to tell y'all again. But let's see. I said death plus rebirth equals transformation. Like an equation. It has to be new for it to transform. And if it's dead, it has to be alive for it to be something else. So it's just interesting how I put those two together. But I hope you enjoy today's episode, where I'm going to be talking about how to marry yourself. I'm going to be going over some Pinterest vows that I thought were pretty awesome. And I'm going to wrap the podcast up with some exciting episodes that'll be coming into the future. And yeah, let me just tell y'all this one thing. Today at work, I've been doing overtime. Oh my God, it's been killing me. But I have been pushing through, and I cannot wait to see my paycheck tomorrow. Lord. But today, I think I was on break. Yeah, I was on break. And what was I thinking about? I think I was thinking about my future kids or something. Oh, yeah. My best friend has a podcast, and I was listening to it. It's called the DAY Podcast. Check it out. And she was talking about kids. Or we were texting. Either her podcast or we were texting. Kids crossed my mind, basically. And I just got so teary-eyed. The hair on my arm stood up. And I just felt love. So much love over me. It wasn't a sad cry. It was like a happy cry. And I felt like that was my spirit baby. Like, Mommy, we're here. Like, letting me know that they're near and close. And, oh no, it was me. Okay, so when I do my podcast, I upload them to YouTube. And I was uploading the first podcast, Self-Honor, where I was talking about the spirit babies. That's what it was. And just with me hearing that, that's when the hair on my arm stood up. And I got teary-eyed. And I just felt like my spirit baby girl or boy, something was like around me for real. And I just felt like so much love. I cannot even explain it. Yes, I can. I feel a lot. And when I'm really, really sad and someone hugs me, that's an amazing feeling. It's just like all the yuck goes away because that person kind of gives me a piece of their energy, so to speak. Or when someone makes a joke and I just laugh. My sister and my best friend are so funny. They always sprinkle energy my way because they're just so funny. And I feel that. It's not just a ha ha ha, it's a feeling. When I'm intimate with my partner, that's the strongest feeling that I have. And it was just like that. It was higher than that, I would say. And I was just like, oh my God, this just came out of nowhere. So I don't know if that's supposed to be like a sign, because I've never felt that. I just me hearing myself say the man was talking about spirit babies and how he knew they was in a room, and he would tell the client if spirit babies in a room, and then boom, my hair stand up on my arm, I get chill bumps, my eyes swell up with water, and I just feel that feeling of awe. So, bruh, my spiritual advisor already said that marriage was coming and the babies was coming, so I felt the babies. I felt the spirit babies, so I feel like they is right around the corner. But I hope you guys enjoy this particular podcast, and we are going to talk about what even is marrying yourself, because I know you're like, what is she talking about? But I'm gonna let you guys hear an article, and maybe you'll understand it a little bit more. How to Marry Yourself by Lisa Lux. This is on www.the-numinous.com. It's in the Pinterest link, so if you go on the Pinterest link and click on How to Marry Yourself, it'll take you to the actual article. So it says, want to take self-love to the next level? Find out how to marry yourself with poet and activist Lisa Lux. Her guide to pledging your solo spiritual commitment. She goes to say, in 2016, I married myself, legally taking the name of my higher self. I became Lisa Lux. Had the initials of selfhood tattooed on my right finger, I, and vowed to always come home to me. It's been 2 years since then, a period of time that has burgeoned with political chaos, which continually led us back to ourselves to question our position within the greater whole. So in 2018, I decided it was time to re-meet my commitment in ceremony, an act that I intended to revisit every couple of years to steer the course of my affections for both myself and the wider world. Here are my top tips on how you can hold your own marriage to yourself, because 2019 just might be the year for that. I remember I always say, just write yourself and send it out into the world. Here we are in 2022, and I'm just coming across this. And she wrote this way in 2019. So whatever your gifts are, singing. If you sing really well, you should be on YouTube singing. You could be ministering to people. They could be crying, having a bad day, and click on your thing, and you just sending that energy through the computer, brightening their day. And it's not all about the likes. It's not all about the money. It's just about sharing your gift. If you write, send it out. Whether you become famous or not. Act, do music, draw, play instruments, whatever. We're really supposed to be just sharing our gifts with the world. But anyways, so thank you, Lugs, for putting this out, because it reached me in March of 2022. So let me continue. Here are my top tips on how you can hold your own marriage to yourself, because 2019 just might be the year for that. Now, when I first read this, because I get this stuff and I do the podcast later, like they all come together, like the pieces come together. Like it's like I be cooking podcasts. But anyways, I remember telling my sister, when I read this article, I had text my sister, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that sounds like a good idea." And I was like, "Yes." Like I can have corny conversations with my sister like that, and not to say that it's corny, but she just like supports. Like, imagine walking up to somebody and be like, "I'm about to marry myself." They might be like, "Okay, congratulations," but she gets it. Like, it's not. And actually, it was a TV show. It's a new Netflix. Not new. It's kind of old now. It was talking about all the conspiracy theories. I forgot. But in one of those episodes, the girl's mom was marrying herself on a boat. And she had on a wedding dress, everything, a mirror, and she was finna kiss herself. Like, this is a real thing. So it's not marry yourself as in, I would never have a partner. It's just me, like I'm a nun. Absolutely not. But in the aspects of this particular podcast where we're talking about self-honor, and part 2, I was focusing on death, rebirth, and transformation. Kind of like when you get saved, you baptize, or when you get married, you consummate the marriage, or you get pregnant, you have a baby shower. You know, there's always some type of celebration for a change, or you break up, you cut your hair. Well, signifying me honoring myself and beginning this new journey that I'm on, I would love to commit to myself. And if you've been a family member of mine, I buy rings all the time. I cannot tell you how many rings I done bought marrying myself. So I always was doing this. But this time I am intentionally doing it and subconsciously doing it on a different level for a higher reason. So it's not the fact that I'm single. It's not the fact that I don't have a guy. It's for me. It's because I love me. It's congratulating me on the self-reflection and self-work that I've done by really looking in the mirror and saying, okay, that does not serve me. I'm moving this way, and in order to move this way, I have to drop some things. Like, I'm really, really, really proud of myself. I don't know, after that mushroom trip, things have like really changed. So I am a psychedelic supporter. I'm gonna find all kind of shirts and hats and stuff. Like, I am with it. The very same thing they told us to stay away from is the very thing that can really change your life. Have you ever heard anybody say drinking changes their life, smoking cigarettes changes their life? No, but people that smoke weed have epiphanies and different conversations, and people that do mushrooms and ayahuasca and all this other stuff, they have life-changing. Anyways, hold on the podcast. Let's stick to it. So with her marrying herself, I have always done it, just not with the same intention, not with the same mindset, not with the same meaning. It's more spiritual this time, I'll put it that way. And I already have a ring that says love. So since I already have the ring, I'm just going to spiritually crown myself and recite my vows. So I was so excited to see this because, you know, sometimes when you think of stuff, you're like, I don't want to think about this. Like, you kind of feel alone. But somebody else wrote all about this in freaking 2016, actually. She did it in 2016. And then she wrote this in 2019. So here we go. 1, pick a date that's meaningful. And it's funny, 3 is my number. Aren't we in the month of March? And today is actually the 31st. So this is the last. This is the last day of the month. So it's March 31st. 2, choose your witnesses. So my witnesses are going to be my ancestors that have journeyed before me and that have transitioned and may come back. My witnesses are going to be my angel babies that have traveled with me through all my lives and may adventure with me on this life or maybe the next. To my gods, goddesses, my deities, creator, and of course the people that are in my life, they're witnessing my transformation as well. Number 3, get yourself sexy. Now, I have, since COVID, we've been in the house and stuff, I have really been lax. Like growing up, I've always had a corporate job. You'll always catch me in heels, cute little skirts, cute little blazer. I was very feminine, but somewhere along the line, I don't know what happened. Somewhere along the line, yeah. So I started getting back up early, doing my hair, doing my makeup, because I'll only get dressed if I'm going somewhere. Other than that, I'm straight chill. But I'm starting to, tap into my feminine a little more. So it's interesting that she says, get yourself sexy. And speaking of sexy, I really love lingerie. I legit was taking pictures and put them on the internet and stuff. I still have all my pictures and I do want to put them in a book because, yeah, girl, it's bad. And I still want to take pictures and buy lingerie and still do my little lingerie store or whatever. But get yourself sexy. Yes, we aren't supposed to just appear in one way. We are a multi-dimensional being and you have so many different parts of yourself. And I want to make sure I honor them. And I guess how I grew up, sexy was kind of shunned. It was like a scarlet, like a scripper, like a whore. And I'm like, really? So I never resonated with that. So anyways, get yourself sexy, whatever sexy means to you. Write your own vows in the mirror. I actually have some Pinterest with vowels that I'm going to go over. So yeah, write your vows in the mirror. Say your vows in the mirror and find a charitable cause. Now, for me, I'm starting to spend my money spiritually with my community, which is the spiritual community. So if someone's selling shirts or beads or this, that, the other, I'm just letting my money flow to the spiritual realm. Because if it's going to come back anyways, double, then it might come back triple-fold, quadruple-fold, just because of the realm that I am sowing those seeds. So yeah, find a charitable cause. So it's, how you go to a baby shower, you get them gifts. You go to a wedding, you get gifts. At hers, she wanted people to donate to her cause. And then 7, prepare for the pain. Now, this was interesting to me. She said pain. So she said, in becoming the best of you, you are becoming a human complete. This is about owning your responsibility to the world through commitment, through self-observation, seeing yourself without interfering. Don't cling to the parts that are breaking off. She says, no good rebirth comes without a death. Let yourself feel that. Let it exist within that day as much as the joy will. And I resonate with that. I used to be such a party girl and I didn't even realize there was just so much pain and sadness inside that I became a party girl to protect myself from those emotions that I didn't want to deal with or I didn't know how to deal with. I think sometimes it's not that we don't want to deal with stuff, we don't know how. So if this trauma is going to take you out mentally, your body wants to survive. It's going to do everything that it can to survive. So by creating this party persona, I'm always having a good time. I'm laughing, I'm drinking, I'm clubbing, I'm with guys, whatever. All the high vibes in a negative way. Instead of sitting, finding help, doing the work, whatever. And it's just because I didn't know. So I don't even really judge like I used to anymore because how can a person do what they don't know? And it's so interesting. I'm going to be doing a podcast part 2 with Mama Bear Saturday morning. So I'm so excited about that. And then my sister on Sunday morning. And then hopefully I can get my other sister. And then eventually you'll hear my brother and my sister-in-law. So you guys will have met the whole fam. And by the way, if you promised me a podcast, I have not forgot. I am waiting on my podcast. Don't make me call you out because I will say your name. You owe me a podcast. I did not forget. And speaking of podcasts, I actually want to do little packages for people that do a podcast with me. I want to have a shirt. I don't know if they want my little girly logo on there, but maybe I'll do a girl shirt and a men's shirt just to be fair. Yeah, I'll do that. And a little coffee mug and a little keychain and a little gift card or whatever. Maybe I'll do a girl package and a boy package because I don't know if a guy will wear my keychain. But anyways, LUV MEESH is the mama brand, and my first baby was this podcast. And all my other babies are still waiting to be born. But yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to make sure I remember that. So I will make sure that I gift everybody this time for doing the podcast. So yeah, we're upping our game. But anyway, oh yeah, speaking of, I got an offer for a business credit card. And it's so crazy. Like, it's springtime right now. Things that I'm thinking are coming to pass. I'm like, wipe that bill away, send that money this way, do this, do that. And the stuff is coming through. Like, I literally was like, okay, you need a broker. My brother and my sister-in-law gave me their real estate information. I reached out to her with my questions. Boom, she done recommended me to a broker. I'm like, okay. And one thing she did say is keep a full-time job because the market is a little sketchy right now. Which one of my customers had told me that before. She said, well, honey, we're retired, so we get money every month. I wouldn't do this full-time unless you have a husband that, is a sole provider because it's a little etchy. So 2 people have told me that about the real estate career. But my brother and my sister-in-law broker, she was saying until you get your clientele up, she was like, don't just go out there thinking the money gonna come. You'll feel more comfortable once you got your clientele and your name out there. Because she's been in the business for 17 years. Like, go girl. And I like her because she's done property management and all. Like, I do want to work for a company. Like, I want to do all aspects of real estate. I want to I want to be in an apartment, being a leasing agent. I wouldn't mind doing an apartment manager, get my CAM. I wouldn't mind doing corporate transactions and land transactions and real estate and buying and selling and building up my own portfolio and teaching my people. It's like, I love that whole real estate world. So I'm just excited to see, where that avenue is going to take me. And me and my sister are on the same journey. Like, we're about to get our signing agent's license and our broker license. Like, I don't want to just be a realtor. Like, when things are slow, okay, who need a contract signed? Okay, who need a loan? Like, I feel like if you're going to be in that industry, I want to drop my 3 licenses down and be like, I am a valuable realtor because I can buy your house, I can sell your house, I can sign your paperwork, and I can get the damn loan, like a triple threat. But anyways, I just want to offer my broker all of those services. So yeah, those are the goals for the end of this year. But yeah, so getting back to it, oh Lord, I just be going all off. So the party girl, it's kind of sad because I have when I was on Snapchat, my best friend would send me all the snaps of us clubbing and partying, and like, I just was having the time of my life. But I never addressed my trauma. I never addressed my childhood wounds. I never addressed the stuff that I needed to address to grow and evolve. So it's kind of sad. Like, I can't let party girl lead anymore. So that it's kind of sad because it's like she was real deal protecting me from shit I couldn't handle, from the emotions that I wasn't ready to face. And so, yeah, it's kind of sad. And then when you think of that aspect, if you're not doing the things that you used to do anymore, you're not going to be hanging around maybe people used to hang around or maybe interested in doing the things you used to do anymore. So I already would be at the club kind of like looking around. Like, I noticed when I started changing because I was like, kind of ready to go. Like, yeah, this is fun, but I'm kind of ready to go. And so now I'm like drinking to kind of get myself okay or dancing or whatever. Like I noticed when I started to kind of slip out. But she served her purpose, and I'm going to let her live a little bit here or there. But man, the spiritual journey just swooped me up and grabbed me, and I don't know. I'm just not into stuff that I used to be into anymore. It real deal is like a death. Like, R.I.P. to the old me. R.I.P. to the old me. Hello to the new me. But anyway, so yeah, I resonate with her when she was like, just let it. So I do remember my spiritual advisor saying she had a funeral for herself, and I did not know what she was talking about. And there it is. I have to say goodbye to the old. Now, I didn't do a funeral to myself, but I journal a lot. Like, I have different journals for different topics. And I don't know. I might just put them in a book. I don't know if I want to read more here or put them in a book. You know what? I'm going to do a trauma podcast, and I may read it. I don't know. That's going to take a lot of balls. I may read it. Or I may just put it in a book and say, hey, my book out there. So yeah, all these journals is definitely going to turn into books. And then she says, consummate that thing. I know that's right. Now, I don't know if you guys, adult content disclaimer. I don't know if you guys are into tantric sex or sex magic or sex alchemy, but you can literally manifest something with your sexual energy by yourself or with someone else. And it's this little toy that I've been wanting to get that I'm going to order, and it's called the Rose. And everybody has been raving about this little rose. And yeah, I'm going to get that rose. Okay, so I just thought that was interesting, how to marry yourself. And I want to go over some vows. So I'm going to go over to my Pinterest and go over my vows. And it's really supposed to be for person A and person B, but I'm going to change them for me, okay? Because it's me, myself, and I. All right, so we are on Pinterest. I love you unconditionally and without hesitation. I vow to love you, encourage you, trust you, and respect you. We will create a life filled with learning, laughter, and compassion. I promise to work with you to foster and cherish a relationship of equality, knowing that together we will build a life far better than we could have imagined. Today I choose you to be my everything, my soulmate. I accept you as you are, and I offer myself in return. I will care for you, stand beside you, share with you all of life's adversities and all of its joys from this day forward and all the days of my life. I thought that was so beautiful. So these are my vows to me, okay? Another one is, let's see. You are my best friend. You are the love of my life. You make me happier than I could have ever imagined, and more love than I ever thought was possible. You make me unbelievably proud, and I promise that I will make you proud. I vow to listen to you and learn from you. I vow to laugh with you and cry with you. I vow to value our differences just as much as our common ground. I vow to put all my effort into strengthening this union and giving you the best version of me. On the good days, bad days, rain or shine, I love you forever, and I'm lucky you're mine. Isn't this so cute? I will respect and honor you, always and always. With you, I pledge to repair one small piece of the world. I take you to be my soulmate, to have and to hold, in tears and in laughter, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish from this day forward, in this world and the next. You know what's so funny? I'm a notary and I can officiate weddings. So one day, maybe the good Lord will let me marry somebody. Another one is I take you to love, to be my partner, to be true to you, to love you not only for who you are today, but for who you will become, to encourage and dream with you, to be your companion, lover, and friend. On this day, I give you my hand, my heart, for all the days of my life because you are my everything. I can't wait to marry you. This is so cute. When we get married, there is no such thing as divorce. You tired of me? Go to bed. We're going to try again tomorrow. Because sometimes I think we get disappointed in ourselves. Like, you really are in a relationship with yourself and all the different alchemies and versions of yourself, archetypes, like whatever, evolutions, past, present, future, whatever. It's a lot going on in one body. But, hey, you live to see another day. I think sometimes we do get down on ourselves and disappointed and stuff. And I always wondered why they say you want to save the world, start with you. Because how can you go out there forgiving everybody else and you didn't even forgive yourself? Period. Okay? So saving the world is starting with you. You do good for yourself, people are watching. You are that example. You're showing others, you're teaching others, and they're doing the same in return. We're all reflections. It's like, oh my gosh, it's making sense now. Okay, let's see. This one is called I Promise You. I can't promise you the dark clouds will never hover over our lives or that the future will bring us many rainbows. I think I read that one already. I can't promise you that tomorrow will be perfect or that life will be easy, but I can promise you my everlasting devotion, my loyalty, my respect, my unconditional love for this lifetime and the lifetimes to come. I can promise that I'll always be here for you, to listen to you, to hold your hand. I always do my best to make you happy and to make you feel loved. I can promise that I'll see you through any crisis and pray with you and dream with you and build with you and always cheer you on and encourage you. I can promise that I will willingly be your protector, your advisor, your counselor, your friend, your family, your everything. I promise you. And I feel like that's what Party Girl was. She was protecting me. Yep. Let's see. Protecting me and causing trauma at the same time. I think that was all the vows that I had. I have a cute little ring in here, but I realized I already had a ring, so I'm not going to order another one. But for my 35th birthday, I am going to get this beautiful dress and a crown, and I'm going to do like a beautiful birthday session. So I can't wait to do that for 35. I was reading my emails and different articles and different things like that, and Honor was coming out, so I made a iPhone got the what do you call it, notes, and I usually just save them in my notes or my OneBook or my Pinterest or my journals. I just be having stuff all everywhere. So I wanted to go over my self-honor little quotes and stuff that I've been saving. So I started off by saying 7 used to be my favorite number. I still like it, but it's been 3 here lately. 1, 2, 3, the number 3. 3 brings me to what comes to mind when I think of 3 outside of the life path number is caterpillar, cocoon, and butterfly. It's funny because that resonates with past, present, and future. Understand, overstand. Death and rebirth, transformation. Death plus rebirth equals transformation. And another one that came to me, this is from The Exceptional Girl. More than anything, I encourage you to truly honor and embrace your emotions. So this weekend, I'm going to go pick up a journal just for my emotions. I know I write a lot about the stuff that I learned. And I got my baby book. I got my relationship book. I got my shadow book. What other book do I have? baby book, love book, my journal, shadow work. Oh, this will be my fifth book. My fifth book would be emotions. Like, if this happened to me today, this is how I feel, yada, yada, yada. Because I haven't figured out how to transmute my emotions yet. So I'm just going to journal them since journaling has been so helpful to me. So I'm going to get an emotional journal tomorrow. And I already have these beautiful, colorful pens. And when something happened, I'm going to just be like, this happened, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. I actually think I wrote it in here because I didn't even know how to do an emotional journal. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Emotions. Come on, where is it? Journaling. Let's see, is this the one? Herbs. Let me type in and see if it come up because I be changing the names and stuff. Yep, emotional journal. So, when learning how to journal, just focus on one of these basic questions. How do I feel right now? What's on my mind right now? What do I feel or think? Right now I'm journaling like I'll read something and I'll be like, okay, this, that. Almost like homework, but I want to focus more so on my emotions and my feelings. And I'm about to order a book on that too, so I'm excited to be tapping into you. If you are a Cancer, oh my God. I'm a Cancer moon and damn emotions, oh my God. So embrace your emotions. I don't know if I have a good mix because it's like Scorpio is like, F you, everybody die, burn. And Libra's like, peace, love, and light. And then Cancer's like, crying and stuff. I'm like, Lord, you gave me these 3 combinations. Okay, so let's see. For everything in this journey of life we are on, there is a right wing and a left wing. For the wing of love, there is anger. For the wing of hurt, there is forgiveness. For the wing of tears, there is joy. And for the wing of honor, there is shame. We can only fly with 2 wings, and 2 wings can only stay in the air if there is a balance. See Joy Bell. It's so funny that I just was saying Libra, a Cancer, and a Scorpio. And I have a balance in bitches. So yeah, that is so interesting. So yeah, you can't get to honor without shame. So I'm not going to say that I'm ashamed of my past. I mean, there's some things that God, I wish I would not have done or would have definitely done differently. But for those same very things are what brought me here today. And I don't know if I would have got here without those things. So, yeah. Let's see what else I have. I have ego death. This is from Lone Wolf. When we experience self-transformation, we enter a death and a rebirth process that can feel uncomfortable and destabilizing at first. But ultimately, any change we undergo is liberating. In other words, we become more soul-centered instead of ego-centered. And we're more comfortable in our skin. And I think that's the best way to kind of like explain it. It's very uncomfortable at first. And it's true. You everything is more spiritual, more soul. Then I have rebirth. Again, this is from Lorna Wolf. Certainly, psychology is useful. We have all undergone some level of toxic social conditioning, trauma, and core wounds. Therefore, it's crucial that we explore and work through these issues so that we can live more peaceful lives and not infect our children. I think, to me, my spiritual advisor told me that my ancestors chose me out of the family line to break, because I swear I should have the most kids right now. It has nothing to do with me. But it's almost like I also have, and I say that because I want kids so much. Like it just overflows. It just oozes out of me. However, based on the generational line, like going back to ancestors that I don't even know, that I can't even name, that aren't even on Ancestry.com, because I went way back on Ancestry. And it's like, no, we are going to break this chain for whatever reason. And that's why I feel like I already feel like me and my siblings are special, but this next generation is going to be so, 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 so special. And that's why I can't just have a child. It's going to be a divine child. And that's something that I just have no control over. But, it is what it is. And I can't wait to meet them. But anyways, so that you will not infect your children, family, friendships, work connections with your unresolved shit. So this is him. Like, when you go to Lone Wolf, you'll hear her. She's like, love and light. And he's like, F you, grow up. It's like a good balance when you go in there. But when I think of rebirth, you can't just die. Like, we're infinite. We're gonna live again. So when I think of rebirth, I think of the moment of solitude that I'm in, like visiting my childhood, letting these issues come to the surface and really addressing them, like not sweeping stuff under the rug. Like, we grew up in a culture of just sweeping on the rug, never address it. And then finally one day something tragic is going to happen. It's going to be like, if we just would have dealt with this years ago, we wouldn't be here. So I kind of feel like a rebirth for me is like, okay, this happened to you. Let's talk about it. How did that make you feel? Who was all involved? What did you learn from that? How can you prevent this from happening to your kids? Because again, this is a generational thing. Life is not about you. So yeah, some deep stuff, some deep rebirth that I did not want to deal with it. I did not. I'm pretty sure I put it in the back of my mind for a reason. But you think you bury things, but you really be living things and don't even know it. Like, a trauma of being yelled at could make you be so submissive you don't speak up for yourself. Or a sexual trauma could have you either over-sexualized or under-sexualized. So you have a whole husband and y'all aren't enjoying the most sacred part of your union, So that has been not so fun, but, much needed, very much needed. Then I wrote self-transformation and marry myself. So who is this? Lorna Wolf again. In the end, you will find that the spiritual journey is like a mythical marriage between the ego, the soul, and the spirit. One cannot exist without the other. So what is a cure to the limitations and toxicities inherited on a purely psychological or spiritual path? The answer, the marriage of the East and the West, the union of the spiritual and the psychological. Spiritual psychology honors both, the relative and the absolute, the subjective and the objective, the mind and the heart, the body and the soul, the East and the West. It approaches the transformation. So when I was talking about marrying myself, that's kind of what I meant. Like, sometimes I cannot explain things and I'm like, oh my God, I read an article or a book that explains it eloquently and beautifully. And it's like, that's what I meant. And I get it. I express myself better than I communicate. Like, I can, someone can be sad and I can hug them and I don't know if they feel it, but everything that I could ever want to say, hope, dream is just in that hug. Same thing with a partner. Like, I don't know, when I was on my mushroom trip and I held my sister's hand, I don't know if she felt it, but it's like energy and emotions. I do that, but like, that's my power. That's my superpower. I just didn't know it. But I am getting better with communication. It's just, I don't know. I really got that energy thing down. Let's see. Which I'm about to start making candles and I'm about to do a reiki class. And little did I know, that's where my power is. And I'm gonna be able to share that with the world. Let's see. Who is this from? Teal Swan. Teal Swan is amazing. I don't know. I heard her name a lot, but I never used to look at her stuff. And she's just been such a blessing to me. Matter of fact, I got a couple of emails that I need to journal about. Like, God sent me another message about leaving people alone and letting them be on their spiritual journey. And I sent it to my mom and my grandma. Like, if you're in my little circle, I probably send you stuff every day. Please don't be offended. I just got to share. And then I'm on Telegram, Discord, and YouTube. No. Unite the 99, Telegram, and Discord, and I'll be sharing in there too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to keep stuff. We're supposed to share that shit. Help somebody else. Okay, so a guide to self-love. So you can look into the mirror and say with confidence, I should have said this with the vows, my bad. You're all I ever wanted. You're all I ever needed. All of me loves all of you. I love you and I like you. Isn't that something? You can love somebody and not like them, and you can like somebody and not love them, but for both. And I feel like a lot of people are married because they like each other. Or one person likes the other and the other person loves. I do not want that. Let me finish. When I'm with you, I'm home. You are my person. So yeah, people end up being people's other person, but I think that's setting yourself up for maybe disappointment, because no one's perfect. And what happens when that person makes a mistake? What happens when your person makes a mistake? I'm pretty sure that fucks things up. So how about I want to be my own person, okay? And yeah, I'll make mistakes, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to love me more than me, and nobody's going to forgive me more than me. So yeah, I'm going to be my own person. So I should have read that under vows, my bad. I got a few more, y'all. Let's see. Who is this from? All aspects lead to self-love and honor. It's a mix of each other. It's a cumulative. Honor yourself is honoring others. It comes in many forms. Setting up boundaries, standing by them, saying no whenever the hell you want to, honoring someone's wishes regardless of how you feel. I do remember, I always say this, my sister used to do everything with me. I remember these two things. My older sister used to always play board games with us, and one day I think we cheated, and she got so mad she didn't want to play anymore. That Scorpio, I remember she flipped the thing and all, like, she just got so mad like a Scorpio, we didn't play anymore. And ever again, like, she just became a teenager, and that was it. Was on the phone with boys and all. I just will never forget, like, that was like a traumatic change. Like, that was it. And I remember my little sister, she used to always do everything with me. And then one day I asked her to do something and she was like, no. And I just like, why? And she's just like, that's an answer all by itself. And I just felt so hurt. But you know what I didn't realize? Like, my sister was a whole mom. Like, she entered into a world that I did not even know about. And I tried to keep her in my world. Like, I don't, she has to go cook for someone. She has to make sure someone's watching them. She has to care for, a whole family. And it's like, oh my God, I did not like understand or respect that. And I think I'm like stepping back and seeing everybody in their little pods and like, oh my gosh. So I don't want to invite you here because you have a husband, or I don't want you to do that because you have a family to go home to. Well, before I was like, oh, welcome. Hello. So, yeah, I just remember those two distinct, like, but that's like a form of respect and honoring, where people are. Spirit has also been teaching me how to apologize when I do wrong, which has never been a problem. But, I think I'm on another level with it though, because it's easy to say, I'm sorry. But you can be more intentional and be like, okay, so what exactly did I do? Okay, I'm sorry for that, more heartfelt, more intuitive, So yeah, that lesson has been coming around a lot lately. But more so forgiving myself, and the more I forgive myself, or the deeper I forgive myself, I see that I'm able to deeply forgive others. I think that's what's happening. Let's see. Even forgiving other people that have done wrong, because they may not know. Sometimes people don't even know. Sometimes people don't even know what the hell they be doing. So forgiving people, that you may never get an apology from. We're all on different mental levels, spiritual levels, emotional levels, whatever levels. And it's just like, some people will never get it, and that's okay. So you have to forgive them for them and you. Ain't that something? But also sending out that energy also lifts karma off of you too. Because the same energy that you give out is going to come back. So if you are so forgiving, that energy is going to be hovering over you too. So when you do something, all of that forgiveness that you gave out is definitely going to come back. I feel like this, the spirit of honor, I know it's a podcast, but I feel like these names that we be giving stuff is really like spirits. Like, what if anger is a spirit that comes and visits you? We call it an emotion. What if it's a whole entity? What if it's a whole being? What if it's a whole spirit? Like, if Venus is a planet of love and it's sending loving energy out, oh shit. What if it's the planets that be visiting us? Because my friend had sent me a harmonica YouTube, and I was listening to it, and it was talking about the planets, and I have to revisit the planets again. And that's going to be a whole nother podcast. On this spiritual journey, when you learn stuff, you're going to be like, what the fuck? You're going to keep going and be like, I got it. No, the hell I don't. And you're just going to be on this spiral, and you'll go deeper, deeper, deeper. Now, I done had these apps on my phone for how long? CoStar, Time Passages, Moon Passages, iLuna, Moon Calendar, Mandala's, Moonly, Astro Dentist. It's just like tarot. It's just like so many apps on my phone. But I get them more now. Like, I went in Time Passages, and it was telling me my sun is in Aries right now. My moon is in Aries. And when I was reading it, I was like, oh my God. And then I clicked on my current chart. I looked at all my planets right now. I looked at all my aspects. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I get it now. Like, there's no way I got this before. And one of them is for the whole world. Like, I think, which one is this? Because I got an email about it. Chiron is in Aries. Oh, this is a good one, y'all. Chiron in Aries. Chiron, called the wounded healer, is the planet of healing and acknowledgement. What has your girl been doing? Oh, okay. Acknowledgement of concealed trauma. That's going to be a whole podcast. And it spends somewhere from 2 to 8 years in each sign. With Chiron in Aries, there are opportunities for humanity, this is the one, the collective, to grow an understanding of its deepest and most hidden traumas. So I have a question. Have your traumas surfaced, and are you dealing with them? Are you pushing them down? Are you facing them? Are you healing them? Are you nurturing them? Are you listening to them? I know it's not just me. Like, this is a whole planetary thing. Okay, so opportunities for humanity to grow an understanding of its deepest and most hidden traumas, especially those affecting the assertion of self in a higher way, or in dealing with challenging feelings regarding our own self-acceptance. What was oh, y'all, I didn't tell y'all. So many other selves was coming to me. Self-acceptance, da-da-da-da. I said, look, we're not going to keep doing these podcasts. I'm going to turn it into a journal, an ebook journal. I think a lot of my books are like kind of like journals, an ebook journal. And it's going to be so many selves in there. And I can't wait to pass all my little ebooks down to my nieces, nephews, and kids. Like, look what mommy learned. Look what mommy want to share with you. What auntie learned, little auntie want to share with you. Because they're little right now. But, so it's funny that it said self-acceptance, because I added that to my Pinterest. I'm just not going to do this. This is going to be my last self-podcast, because this could go on and on and on. But I want to tap into other subjects like robots and trauma, and some more Meesh at night, some more mommy and me, some more auntie boos. So yeah. So hidden traumas, especially those affecting the assertion of self in a higher way, or dealing with challenging feelings regarding our own self-acceptance. The level of progress that is possible now through individual action in concert with social needs is extraordinary. So I know I'm not the only one. Like, but you know what's interesting to me? It says it spends anywhere from 2 to 8 years in each sign. So maybe I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and it's just been, it don't come up out the blue. I think these energies help these things come up. Just like now, my mom has had seeds. She has had seeds all year, but them seeds is growing right now. There's an energy in the air. We call it spring. I have been saying things and they have been manifesting. I got a whole business card in the mail. I got a whole broker now. It's just like stuff is like happening fast right now just because the energy is just in the air. So I think I'm starting to realize these planets more. Like they call them planets. But I don't even think they're planets. I think that's disrespectful. I think they're energy. I think they're gods. I think they're spirits. It's energy. And the more we learn about these energies, the more we know how to use them. But anyways, that's going to be another podcast. Let me come back. So yeah, I'm going to continue to forgive everyone. And I was doing Lorna Wolf have a love journal, and one of the you do like so many pages. It's a whole self-love journal, and one of them was write something and burn it. I just haven't done it yet. So these gonna be my 2 tasks for the weekend, because if I don't do it now, it's probably never gonna get done. But write a letter of forgiveness to everyone and burn it. And I just realized there's just certain people that I don't know if I want to open those doors anymore. So it kind of is what it is. And then also finishing Roses and Thorns, because I think they were just lessons. I don't think it should be negative. I think it should be more of a thank you. Because of you, I learned this, but because of that, I am who I am today. So it's interesting how you can look at things in different ways. I ended some cycles I was stuck in for years on a hamster wheel, out with the old and with the new. I value myself respectfully, and whoever doesn't honor that, may universe teach them a thing or two about that. Because I think that's all life is. I don't think we can wish bad on somebody, because if we're all learning, is that fair? If you're really just learning, is that fair to like wish bad on somebody who just doesn't know any better? I think we feel like that out of immaturity. I think when you get a little bit wise, you can say, I don't wish bad on you. You didn't know any better, or you'll learn. I think that's why the elders say, keep living, baby, keep living. My dad, in fact, would say, his mom would tell her, Grandma Arlene, keep living, baby. You'll understand one day. And I think that's a beautiful way of doing it. Like, when did we become so hateful? Like, we just want people to die. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a Scorpio. Like that lady talking about, I'm an idiot. I definitely wanted her to die. Like, get the fuck. But I have to remember there are ops too. Because she literally came out of nowhere. You could have went in any line and she came in my fucking line. And that could have been a test too. And I failed miserably. I fucking failed miserably. I'm like, who grandma is this? I can't, and it was just so weird because I can't even imagine my grandma doing that. My grandma is a Black Panther, but I don't see her walking up to a white person like, ah. It's just like, who grams is this? The fuck? But anyway, so yeah, I completely felt that, but I have to still work on my emotions because I'm supposed to consciously be and not let myself unconsciously react. I think, yeah, they don't really tell us that, but I think that's how it should be. You have to be conscious in everything that you say, do, and be, because there's consequences for everything. Now I have to send this lady an apology to the ethers for how I may have made her feel when she was freaking wrong. But to clear my damn karma, which is fine because I'm going to clear it. But had I just walked away and whatever, I wouldn't have to do this. Anywho, let's see. So yeah, may universe teach everybody, because that's all we're doing. We're learning. We are little gods anyway. So how you gonna rule a whole galaxy and you can't even control a human existence. Hell nah, you ain't ready. So I kind of feel like that's what this is too. This is like God school, and it's hard as fuck, okay? It's hard. Remember to listen and respect your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. That was from Loner Wolf. So I am going to honor myself moving forward with respect. I'm going to pay attention to what affects me mentally, emotionally, physically, my overall well-being. Let me make sure I said them all. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. There we go. I think I've been neglecting my emotions for a very long time. And them bitches, whatever energy is in the air right now, I got to go back over my planets. Emotion is like, nah, you finna hear me. You finna feel me and everything. Like, you is not finna ignore me. That's kind of like the mode that I'm in. Another one says, when you commit to your inner work, you're turning your pain into power. It's like a true spiritual alchemist. Naturally, this inner work leads to creating authentic, bone-deep change in the world, little by little. So again, just by doing your work, being the best that you could be, it's changing the world. And I also feel like when you do that, you're raising your vibration, which is raising all the vibration, because we all are one. And then crown in Sanskrit, the spiritual discernment is called Viveka and is said to be the crowning of wisdom on the spiritual path, allowing us to discover what is real versus unreal. That was by Loner Wolf. And I don't even want to say real and unreal. I would like to say maybe young and old, unwise and wise, immature and mature. That's kind of how I like to see it. Because all things are real to me. But you always want to kind of move in that higher frequency and that higher, more mature realm. But it's so interesting because I was talking to my best friend today. We were texting. And I was telling her how I saw Bambi 1 and Bambi 2. And I'm really finna go back and look at all these Disney movies like for real. And I was like, I did not get the message back then. Like, I got a whole adult message out of Bambi 1 and 2. And she was like, you wasn't supposed to get it back then. I'm like, oh, okay. Because, I don't know. Like, some messages I got, like with Lion King, when Mufasa died, I was so sad. Like, I cried. Like, I literally knew what was going on. But it was just so many messages in there. And maybe that's how life is. One little thing can happen and it could be a million messages in it, but you're only going to get the message based on the level that you're on, so to speak. So, yeah. I don't want to say real versus unreal. Maybe we could just say young, old, youthful, older, immature, wise. So, yeah, as I adjust my ring, put on my crown, and say my vows, and marry myself. I don't know. I'm just proud. I don't know. Like, I'll be journaling on my mom. She'll be like, you're okay? I'm like, yeah. And because she can feel. She doesn't even know it's her superpower. And, I'm like, yeah, I'm just journaling, because I usually just feel, and emotions can fill up a room. They can probably fill up the whole world. My emotions are so big. I know I'm bigger than this body. I know this is just a shell, because my emotions go beyond my body. It's hard to explain. And I just never did anything with them. So they would just be in my aura, just fucking trapped. And I feel like that bitch busted. But now I know how to write journal and put them somewhere. Put them in word. Like, I'm reading a book right now, Dear Woman by Just Mike. And when I read, there's feelings in what I'm reading. It's not just words. And getting back to my life path 3, my form of creativity is this podcast, is writing, is journaling, and it's turning them into little journal ebooks, whatever you want to call them. So I'm just excited to do the work to continue to work on myself and learn and grow and evolve and meet new versions of me and just continue to be the best that I could be so that I can raise this next generation of young guys and goddesses. And I can only raise them at the level that I'm at. And I think that's what we missed with having kids. You can have a child at 10. It's not about having sex and birthing a child. But you can only give that child what you have. That could be income. That could be spiritual. That could be mental. That could be love. And I'm in this Discord group, and we were talking about how one of the girls was saying how both her and her sister wanted to commit suicide. And for them both to want to do that, she felt like her parents didn't give her love. And that was just her perspective. Now, me on the outside looking in, as a child, she has every right to say that and feel that. But me being a Libra, I felt like, dang, like as a parent, that would be kind of hard to hear. Your child say, you didn't love me, you didn't show me what love was, you didn't know what love was, and I want to commit suicide. That's a hard pill to swallow, especially for someone that's not spiritual, doesn't have to do the work. They don't even know where to begin or understand. That's hard to tell somebody. So she's kind of at odds because, number one, she's spiritual, so you already got to know a lot of people ain't going to relate. Everything you're going to say probably going to fly over their head. You got to calm down, break it down, whatever, get on their level. And it's so hard to do. Oh, it's so hard to do. And that's not even being egotistical. It's just like, I don't know. And maybe it's just me because I definitely don't like repeat myself. But I had wrote like this long message, and I was like, because I finally found healing. Like, I know exactly how she feels. But it wasn't until I went back that I was able to put the pieces together. So I know a different version of love. I grew up looking at all these TV shows. I've went over all my different friends' house. I've seen so many different forms of love from my mom, love from my dad. I've lived with other people. I've lived with, my ex people. Like, I've just seen so many different families, like from the inside, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, not just TV land. So when you have a lot to compare, you could say, that's not how this is supposed to work. But if that's all you know, you don't have a reference. So, your parents did what they knew in their little bubble. And then your grandparents did what they knew in their little bubble. And think about it. They didn't have TV with the grandparents. They had a little bit of white TV with the parents. We the ones got this World Wide Web. So I was trying to tell her in a lump sum, because I found healing. Like, I know exactly where she come from. I found healing with my parents. And I look back at my grandma, and I want to actually maybe we can bring grandma on. Grandma had it tough, I don't even know if she felt love from her family. So she started from the bottom. She gave love to her husband and her kids. Okay, and maybe some things were missing because my mom did the best that she could do. And that's all you do is whatever was missing, you do the best you can do. So that's basically what I was trying to explain to her. Like, your parents did the best they did. Your grandparents did the best they did. Let's not go backward because that's not really helping. Let's go forward. I said, we really have no excuse. We have the whole internet. We have the World Wide Web in the palm of our hand for free. If you go to the library, McDonald's, Starbucks, or if you pay, or if you have a phone service, it's free. So instead of he all day, we could be learning and developing and becoming our better selves for this next generation. So I was trying to tell her is that although you didn't feel loved by your mom, that's great. Now you know what to give your child. I said, what better example of what not to do to be able to do for your own seed? I said, that's the greatest example. And I was like, and universe wouldn't have gave that to you if you weren't strong enough to handle it. You try to take yourself out and you still here. And that means you're strong, number one, and you have a mission that you need to complete. So I hope she received that. Well, a lot of people was commenting on it, and it felt so good to just be able to plant that seed and share with those people of all different ages, not even young women. I can't even say young women, but just to share with people of all different ages. So yeah, just continue to do your work, because when you do your work, you'll be able to share with someone else, and then they'll be able to do their work, and it's really a domino effect. So I'm going to end the self. It was supposed to be a mini series. It turned into a long series. But I'm going to end the self series. I am going to put up an ebook so that we can all continue that on our own. And then I can start talking about robots and some other stuff. And I forgot, it was a map. There's a spiritual map that I want to go over. It lists so many different topics. And I want to talk about them. But somebody made a map, but I kid you not. I have a one notebook with all different spiritual things that you can even think of. And I think I want to turn it into an ebook too. Like, because people start in this spiritual journey, where do you start? Like, there is really no starting point, but I would like to give somebody a map. I would like to list all these different words on every page and tell you to say Kundalini. Go see what you can find on YouTube about Kundalini. Go see what books you can find on Kundalini, what articles you can find. What does Kundalini mean to you? Is it something that you want to add into your life? Okay, next word, chakras. Go look up, like I literally want to do that. And it's like a school, because where is the school? Okay. Harry Potter got to be real in some essence. So where are the spiritual schools? And I kind of wish I would have just went to spiritual school, but I did what I was supposed to do. So that's fine. Because I learned a lot. When I went to school, number one, I went to a Christian school. So every single class, you had to do an essay and add scriptures in it. Which means the business world is so corrupt. They want you to shine your little light in the evil industries, which I just didn't know how corrupt they were. And then I had to do like little essays and papers, just learning more about, they just expose themselves. Like, you over here selling chemicals to these people. Somebody found out, they put it on the social media. Now you going to tell me that I'm the publicist and I have to save face. Like, really? Did they really just teach me to be corrupt in a Christian school? Did you catch that? Like, what? We selling these people poison and you want me to what? So yeah, that was like an eye awakener. And I also learned about periodical journals. So what is on the internet of things isn't really true. You have to subscribe to certain scholarly journals, and you have to have access to periodical scholarly essays and journals and reports and stuff. So just because we're on the internet, honey, that don't even be the tea. Doctors have their own. Lord, my sister. Yeah, I guess she's my sister. My best friend was going to lawyer school. They had their own search engine. My college had its own search engine. Like, them be the truth, y'all. We don't even have access to that. So we think we know, but we don't have no idea. So that also started me on my vegan journey. So you know what? Some people is getting their student loans wiped out, and I want mine wiped out too. So when I come over here telling y'all that my student loan is gone, just know it's over. I will have reached the height of my manifestation. So yeah, that's going to conclude this particular episode of Self-Honor. And I'll have to upload a picture when I do my birthday shoot this year for the big 3-5. And yeah, which one was this? This was on the death, rebirth, and transformation. And it's never going to end, you guys. So I'm going to enter another phase of death, rebirth, and transformation, and it's going to go on and on and on forever. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm excited for you guys to hear Mama Bear, my sisters, my brother, the fam. And I'm interested to see where those topics are going to go. I try to let this be like a well-rounded podcast, not just specifically one topic. So we'll see. But we'll go ahead and wrap this one up like we usually say. It's 7.9 billion people in the world, yet you met me. Not by happen chance, it is a divine meeting. May we guide each other well. If life is like a school, what lessons did you learn today? What class did you take? Did you pass, fail, a test, or pop quiz? If so, it's okay. Failing always allows you, it's okay. Failing allows you to restudy an area that you're weak in so that you could try again better than before to pass with a 100. So keep learning, evolving, and spreading love. And I hope you see the fruits of your labor. Namaste, love a stay, and always vibe high, babe. It's okay. Sometimes you do have low times, but be sure to feel, to journal, to get help or therapy, and come back up. You just can't stay there. You just can't stay there. Make sure you come back up. And I want to add, there's usually lessons. When trauma things happen, there's usually a lesson in there. For whatever reason, that's how humans learn. It be the tragic shit that we learn from. So yeah, it's gonna be ups and downs just because that's how our asses learn. But again, it's all how you look at it too. I think when you know that it's a lesson and you get a better understanding of your emotions and how to control them, I think it gets easier. So as I start to learn about these emotions and work through these emotions, and I'm going to do a podcast on that too, because it's called emotional intelligence, you guys. Nothing should be able to faze us. But I think you got to get to that moment first. Because I'm like such a crybaby. I could be driving and get a flat tire and it's like the world ended me. It's like, I got a fucking flat tire. Oh my God. See, it's just like how you look at it. The flat tire could be, girl, it's an accident up there and your ass is speeding and I had to slow you down. You could have died. I had to pop your damn tire. It's just another way to look at it. And then, like, handling your emotions. So what is you crying for? I literally saved your life. Like, I feel like if we could see spirits, I think when things happen, it's really spirits. Like, how the fuck your tire just pop? Oh, okay. Like, there's always cause and effect, right? So what caused the nail to pop into my tire? It just be like, I don't know. I just feel like there's unseen things, and if we could see them, we would see life differently. Like, I want to give a name to a spirit. Like the spirit of sadness visits you. The spirit of anger visits you. The spirit of joy visit you. You know what? I just got an email about that. It was saying, oh my gosh, so that is going to be a podcast. I see you, spirit. So universe is teaching me about that already. Emotions come and visit you. They are not you. You are you. You're just blah. These things come and visit you. So when you're stuck in them, you're supposed to let them come visit and go. You're not supposed to trap them or keep them stuck. Get the lesson, blah, 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 and move on. But anyways, that could be a whole nother podcast. Emotional intelligence. Oh boy, I feel like a whole bunch of lessons is about to come my way. Emotional intelligence. All right, you guys, I will catch you on the next episode. You'll probably be hearing Mommy Bear. We got Mommy Bear on the podcast, y'all. So I will catch you guys on the next episode. Until next time, bye. Thanks a million for listening. There's a million podcasts in the world. You clicked on this one, little this one, to hear what I have to say. I hope universe has a special message for you. You can reach me on Linktree at /love.meesh. I hope you have a better than great day. Love ya. Talk to you later. Bye.
You all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?